You mentioned the entertaining value. There is no one who have not played with their own faces on top of, I don't know, car brands, fashion choices, I don't know, historical characters. It's all fun and jokes, okay? But you mentioned serious business that absolutely relies on the data. And I love how you clarified it, that there is no magical about GenAI. And it's always like, we know with the databases at the time, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Okay, the data you're relying on. So no wonder the experts on data like yourself, we need more voices just demystifying that miracle. Because when we're talking about hallucination, it's a little bit more than that, right? It's combining, it's like exactly that, hallucination, right? It's founded on something. All right.
Right.
So but it's garbage if you want to really rely your company value on it, or company destiny, right? So let's turn this conversation into how companies and businesses implement GenAI in their operations, because sounds like it's an easy kind of your experience with presentations. That's no brainer, right? But in terms of sensitive data, and most companies' data are pretty sensitive to their customers, to their patients, to their consumers, right? So where do you see the good angle to use GenAI effectively and safely?
Yeah, so this is a really important point, which goes to much of the hype. So that the hype out there suggests that AI is fully automated, right? You go to your favorite AI vendor, you sign up, and there it is. Well, I'm sorry to say that no, it's not just there. You can't just use it that same afternoon. Those tools have to be configured to you. The pipelines have to be put together. They often, almost always, require several software packages from different vendors to be put together in such a way that it really delivers what you need. And you mentioned some of the important requirements here. Cybersecurity is one, right? You want your input data as well as the output data that you receive back not to be visible to the general public. Data governance, for example, you don't necessarily want every employee in your company to have the same access rights. You want some to have more and some to have less, and you need some sort of governance strategy and therefore IT system to decide who is who. You would like to remove certain biases. In certain industries, like let's say you're a bank and you give loans to people, being biased against certain group of people is actually a legal requirement punishable by law. In other industries, you're not exactly doing something illegal, but you still want to remove biases. And that means you have to have a system that checks that checks for fairness and bias. In some industries, merely getting the output is unacceptable. You need an explanation of how that AI system arrived or can justify that this output is correct. So you're talking about adding a multitude of layers, some of which are just IT, like governance and access and security, and some of which are true content layers that modify things. So putting that together with respect to your particular needs does take time, and it does take people who are in the know-how. And then on top of that, my favorite pet peeve is change management. Just building the IT tool and telling the thousands of employees at your company, guess what? How lucky you guys are. There is a new tool out there too. Most of your staff will, of course, not be happy to see yet another tool. They've already got 100 tools. So there's a change management process that needs to occur to educate them on how to use it, when to use it, when not to use it, how it is beneficial, and then, of course, most importantly, how it will help them individually be more effective. And that is frequently ignored, right? That the process of change management requires staff, time, budget, and whoever is in charge of an AI project, I would encourage you to reserve some time and budget for those non-IT topics that need us to anchor the function within the teams that we have.